'Cause when I try to let go of what you hand to me, my hands turn into fists. It would change, tighten around my wrist. I heard a story about a girl, our eyes are the same color.
All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? Hello, everyone that's here. Hope y'all like the little setup I got going on. So what's up, everyone? I'm riding the Phantoms here. Nice to see you guys. Nice to chill with you guys. So we back with another week of streaming. Of course, I did stream yesterday. I streamed a little bit yesterday, but as y'all knew, yesterday was also Monday Night Football, so I had to make it short. So today, I ain't got shit to do, but do some art and talk about some shit. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do both. What we starting off with tonight? Well, you already know how this go, Omega. So for anyone that does not know how this go, I'll go ahead and explain. So the way how I do these podcasts is whenever there's sports topics such as this with the NFL, because it's pretty long to talk about, we save it for last. So with that being said, since it's last, we're gonna be starting with Xdefiant today. We're gonna be talking about Xdefiant, and we're gonna be talking about the NFL. Now I was thinking, maybe we could squeeze in, and maybe we still can. We can squeeze in Hell Divers because apparently Hell Divers is making a bit of a comeback as of late, which good for the game. The only problem I have, you know, we'll talk about that when we get there. What my problem is, particularly with the game. So, for now, to explain, I usually take this one day out of the week and we talk about some shit. You know what I mean? So this is one of these instances where I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's talk about some shit. Let's get it all out the way. So with that being said, I'm gonna do a bit of multitask. So I haven't done this before. I don't think anyone really had done this before. But if they have, they probably just did it without even realizing. So I'm gonna be covering these topics while I'm gonna be drawing some stuff. So because of course for me, I've been feeling like what, it's time I try to get back into a drawing mood. I'm like on one end on the bottom of the screen, as you can see here, I have some art stuff that I'm looking to do. I'm looking to draw my OCs for a little bit because I want to be able to try and do better and practice at trying to do them. So that's what we got on one end. And on the other end, we have, of course, the topic at hand. So for right now, I have the NFL stuff up. But if y'all want me to cover Xdefiant first, that's what we can do. That's what I have no problem doing. So let me go ahead and pull up the Xdefiant stuff first, such as this video here, because I haven't seen this video yet. In fact, there's another video that Omega put up involving this, but I think this one, I think both the videos are damn near the same. I don't know for sure. I mean, I'll let Omega tell it like it is, but for me, I think this one's gonna be good enough to explain with what the hell is going on. So, well, at least when it goes to a creator. But when it goes to Xdefiant being sabotaged, let me go ahead and see if I can find that, just in case if they're a little different.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're.
The new faction for the next season is the Highwaymen. I don't know who the fuck they are, but I haven't seen anything about it. I can't spell sabotage to save my fucking life. Um, let me see. Yeah, here it is. Right here. This is good enough.
What's going on, everybody?
Okay. I think they might be an original faction. Okay, yeah, because it's like I never heard of these people. Okay, so let's see what's going on here since we're about to cover Xdefiant first. Let me look at this video real quick because honestly, I don't even know what the fuck's going on, how's it being sabotaged or whatever and whatnot. So let's take a look at this and see what's going on.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have been holding off a little while now on this overall topic here, but I have been getting so many requests that I think it's time to go ahead and discuss my overall opinion on this take here. And that is the video that Blame Truth put out, claiming that Activision is trying to sabotage Xdefiant, basically paying, people like Tom Henderson to put out hit pieces to kind of paint a more negative picture of Xdefiant to discourage individuals to hop into the experience. Again, I've been holding off for a little while now, but it's all throughout my comment section. YouTube comments, Twitch comments, and again, I appreciate everybody's support over on Twitch. And again, I will be live tomorrow on a Monday. And if you guys don't know already, it's going to be Season 6 for Modern Warfare 3, which I'm kind of disappointed at the looks of all the content. But again, we're going to be testing it out. And if you want to see my live impressions or chat it up with me, by all means, you can go ahead and find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. But again, all throughout my Twitch comments, YouTube comments, everybody's been begging me to go forth and give my opinion about this. So, you know what? I might as well go ahead and designate a video to this overall idea here, because it seems like a lot of people are kind of worked up about this stuff, and rightfully so. I don't blame you guys whatsoever. Now, first and foremost, I will say I don't necessarily believe that Activision is hiring anybody to put out hit pieces on Xdefiant to, kind of increase the player retention of players with Black Ops 6. And I will be honest, I want Xdefiant to thrive, and I can definitely see this game being a competitor down the road, and definitely it could pull people away once we get more content and it's polished. But in its current state, and of course, even later down the road, I don't think anything is going to really touch Call of Duty. If we're going to be honest here, the only thing that could really take down the behemoth known as COD is COD itself. So, although I think Xdefiant is going to be a very successful game, and I see a bright future for it, I don't think Call of Duty is really shivering. I don't really think that Activision is stressed too much about this game on the side, pulling away from their yearly sales. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be honest here. We've been
so it seems like to me there's not really much going on besides like some
the game top sales.
Loud noise and rumor going on saying that Xdefiant's being sabotaged.
At the end of the day,
I mean, it's not to say it's not possible.
So if
it can definitely happen.
Up in arms like this and they still won't budge, I don't think Xdefiant's really going to make them, pay anyone on the side to, paint a bad picture over Xdefiant. But it doesn't make any sense, right? Blame Truth made a bunch of other really good points about this topic. But I'm going to fill you guys in on how I personally feel about this. And I want you guys to really sit down and think about this, seriously. Why would anybody at Ubisoft, or even the development team, leak something out as negative as the news that Tom Henderson put out there, right? Don't they want the game to succeed? If you're ahead at Ubisoft, or even anybody who works at Ubisoft, you want the game to thrive. You want the company to make money. And same thing with the development team. If the game shuts down, if it's ruined, then you're out of a job. So why would someone from the development team put out a post to Tom Henderson to accelerate the process, the death process of Xdefiant? Why would someone who has a good job right now that knows they're at risk want to quicken up the process of losing that job, right? This leak, to me personally, doesn't seem logical from any angle whatsoever, right? It's not like Call of Duty leaks where you have people or devs behind the scenes who are excited about their COD game and they're leaking out certain features and certain concepts to get people hyped. No, this is literally a hit piece, an article stating that the game is on its last legs and that literally if they don't get things turned around by Season 3, the game is chalked. They're shutting down the servers. Well, not shutting down. I shouldn't say that. Sorry. After Season 3, technically, from what we heard from Tom Henderson, they're not shutting down the servers, but they're going to be cutting a lot of the developers. So a lot of the, afterlife support for this game is going to slowly dwindle away because as the game continuously, doesn't thrive for them, they're going to cut more and more and more developers until there's nobody else to really support the game, and they move on to the next title, and then they cut off Xdefiant completely. So, it could end at Season 4. It could end at Season 5. They could keep pushing it. But, from Season 4 to Season 5, we might not see any updates, really, any crazy updates, because the majority of the development team is gone. That's basically what the article is saying here. Not the death at Season 3, but definitely the beginning of the huge decline of Xdefiant after Season 3. But like I just said, why in the world would anybody in their right mind leak out this information? The only people who would ever know that Xdefiant is going to close down their doors is someone working at Ubisoft or a developer. This isn't something that you can data mine or anything of that sort. It's not like it's in the, the files of Xdefiant saying the death date, Season 3. No, this is information that is insider information from Ubisoft. Someone would have to hear a discussion, hear a topic, hear the CEOs discussing things about the lifespan of Xdefiant, and that's how they would earn this information. So I'm going to ask one more time, guys. Why, in any of their right minds, would they want to accelerate the process of the death of this game? The developers want to keep their jobs, and Ubisoft doesn't want to lose out on money. I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I personally believe it's a disgruntled employee. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. You can't forget, not a few, but a handful of people got laid off from Ubisoft. Now, again, I don't have too many specific details on who got laid off, because if you remember correctly, over on The Division, people got laid off and some got moved over to Xdefiant. And at the same time, Mark Rubin was saying, while he was away visiting his mother on her birthday, saying that they're in the current process of picking up more developers. So isn't it so insanely strange that for a game that's getting so much support and so much love with, adding developers is so close to its apparent death?
Let me stop the video real quick. See, this is kind of where I see the point. Because it's like, where did all this shit come from? You know what I mean? Like, where's the actual true source of all this? Saying that it's really being purposely sabotaged, because the way I see it is, it's more like it's he say, she say shit. Because it's not that long ago where I'm sure we had either talked about this on this show, or we talked about it on Discord, some shit like that, where it was like, it's very, we're in an era where you could literally say anything and people would just take that shit as gospel. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, for me, is where this is so hard to take a piece like that seriously. So when you brought this to my attention, Omega, I'm like, where's the true source of this? You know what I'm saying? And just as you said it's hard to pin down a source. That goes to what I'm saying, when it's like, it's hard for me to take a comment like that all too serious, because it's like, yo, didn't the game just fucking start? And now all of a sudden you want to sit here and tell me the game is cooked? Just like that fast? So for me nowadays, because this is how I do it with sports, if I don't find the most trusted source of a person giving out this information, I'm not taking that shit as gospel. Okay? So let me explain how this goes with sports. When someone leaks that a player either got signed, traded, released, whatever, I'm going to the following three people to confirm the sources. I'm going to Ian Rappaport, because he's one of the top guys when it goes to leaking NFL content, or, giving out NFL content. In fact, he's on the NFL Network. The second one is Adam Schefter, and the third one is My Sports Update. Those are the three guys that I go to for any source of football news. Anyone else, I ain't taking that shit unless I see otherwise. So with gaming, the only logical source I could think of for gaming news per se is really what? Wario? He feels like the only person I know of that can, like, accurately give you gaming news or gaming sales or whatever the fuck it is. And he's not gonna bullshit you. Yeah, Wario 64. He's the only other guy I know of that can sit up there and be like, yo, this was the fuck's about to go down, this what the fuck's on sale, blah 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 blah, whatever. And if it ain't him, I'm not taking it from anyone else unless it's either confirmed from Wario or it's confirmed from other multiple sources saying roughly the same shit. Because it's hard for me to really trust people nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it in the gaming world. Okay, if it ain't from multiple sources or if it ain't coming down from the main source, I don't fucking trust you. Plain and simple. So while it could very much be possible that Xdefiant could be getting, it could very much be getting sabotaged right before our eyes. That, that's very much a thing. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's not. But for the time being, I need to see otherwise. I need to see otherwise from, more people if this is really the case. But I'm gonna keep this video going though.
Interesting, but again, back to what I was saying here. I don't think it was someone who is working with this game, because none of them would want to see this game fail or they lose their job. I think it's a disgruntled employee. And more specifically, I think it's a disgruntled employee from the Division layoffs. I truthfully do. A lot of them got moved over to Xdefiant, and I'm curious if it's one of them or a handful of them who got the cut and weren't able to move over to Xdefiant that are preying on the downfall of this overall game.
Okay.
They have that
I ain't gonna
similar
lie, doing
mindset
Khalid is
of,
definitely
if I can't have it, nobody can have it,
Very
A bunch of other
interesting.
people were blessed to be
All
able
his
to
hair.
still move over and get a job. But since I wasn't able to go ahead and get a new job, I'm going to try to make sure that they all lose their job as fast as possible so they can all be in the similar spot as me.
Which is nasty work,
That
by the
is
way.
what I specifically
To
think
point that out.
this situation is all about. Because I'm going to say it time and time and time again. It's not logical. It doesn't make sense for anybody to leak out this information. It wouldn't benefit anyone, absolutely anyone, besides someone who's already pissed off at the company, maybe got fired from the company, and wants to see just nothing but fire and watch everything burn. That's all I can possibly think of. And I know we all say Tom Henderson is such a reliable leaker, including myself. He's leaked out some pretty good things about Call of Duty before. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think he's incredibly biased towards Xdefiant. He's already said multiple times in the past how much he despises this game. He thinks it runs like crap. And he's already compared it a trillion times on Twitter over to Call of Duty with how better basically Call of Duty is compared to Xdefiant. So in my eyes, he's already biased against this game. I don't think it's going to take much to persuade him to write a negative article about this game dying. And if we're going to be real here, how hard would it be to really, showcase that you, quote-unquote, still work at Ubisoft? This could be someone who's fired, who got let go off of the project, but they can come to Tom Henderson and they could give, a previous ID, an ID that they already had. I had a bunch of jobs back in the day where I had IDs. I still have probably laying around here. I don't work with the company, but I can still flash up the ID and claim I work with the company. You know what I'm saying? If they're recently fired, they could pull up, recent pay stubs, something like, a month ago saying, oh, look, well, I just got recently paid, so I still work for Ubisoft.
Bruh.
Tom Henderson, they could have given anything to him to prove, quote unquote, that they still work at Ubisoft. And they're, what they're saying is legit, when in reality, they could have been just recently fired and they're extraordinarily pissed off. We have absolutely no clue how reliable his sources
it's some
are.
petty shit,
The
but that's the
only reliability we
business.
have is that the matchmaking takes a bit longer to search for lobbies than it did day one.
That's the business.
That's the only bit of information anybody can go based off of, because there is no facts written anywhere in stone that this game is indeed dying. Now, has it lost a lot of players? Yeah, it's lost a decent amount of players compared to what, where it first launched. But does it mean it's on its deathbed? No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. And again, like I just said, we have no clue how reliable his sources are, and we have no clue how reliable Tom Henderson is in general when it comes to giving us information about Xdefiant.
I think I'll start with
I realistically think that this is a sabotage situation. Again, I don't completely agree with everything Blame Truth said in his video, but I do completely agree that I think Xdefiant is being sabotaged, because nobody, like I said, nobody in their right mind would leak out this information and, still be working with Ubisoft or working as, a developer on the team, because it wouldn't benefit any of them. The only person who would actually benefit from this information being leaked is someone who's already fired from the team and wants to see this company drown. That's the only person who would benefit. So, again, I need more proof than this at this point. I really do. And I'm glad that Blame Truth put out that video, because it opened my eyes a bit. Me, myself, and a lot of others just kind of jumped into it because, again, the servers are taking longer to find lobbies, and it just kind of seems like it makes sense. But in reality, the timing of the article, right around Black Ops 6, pulling people away, and also just sitting down and just logically thinking about the overall situation here, right? Like I just said, if you were just reading the article, you'll think, oh yeah, oh my god, Xdefiant's dying. But when you sit there and really think about it, and think about why it was leaked, who leaked it, who would benefit from leaking this? Again, this isn't a positive leak. This isn't like stuff that leaks with Call of Duty where, you know, the devs don't care, I guess, because they want, you know, the positive things to go out and the community to learn about new things and get excited about new things, right? So they're like, oh, shoot, who cares? But someone, if they're truly at the risk of losing their job, why would they give this information out to further lose their job? All it takes is a little critical thinking. Now, I wish I sat down and didn't just bum rush myself into that one. I really do, because it's crazy to think that this could potentially seriously be a hit job out to try to ruin the chances Xdefiant has. But
which is
I
very
believe in the
possible.
Delman team. I don't think that article really smeared anything upon this game. I still find lobbies constantly. And of course, if you guys are struggling a little bit, I might make a separate video about this. But just to fill you guys in, pick more game modes. I struggle the absolute most when I only select one game mode. Like if I only pick TDM or I only pick Dom. But if I pick
Which is
TDM
what I
and
told you,
Dom, for some
Omega.
reason, I'll
I
instantly
told you
load
that
into
from day
matches.
one. I said,
again,
yo, if
I
you're
have a
struggling one
theory
game
on
mode,
why
don't
this
stick
is
with
a
that
thing,
shit.
but I'm
Go
gonna save that
somewhere
for a
else.
completely different video for you guys.
I
But
called that
that's just
shit
a
right
little
on the
quick tip
money.
I have for you. If you're struggling to find lobbies, pick more than one game mode. Have crossplay on and put base matchmaking off so you can play with everybody, controller and mouse. And then, of course, like I said, select multiple modes, and I'll throw you right into the mix, I promise you. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys. Go down in the comment section, let me know if you think that article was a hit piece out to get Xdefiant, or do you think it's legit, and Xdefiant really does have until Season 3 to get their crap together, or else the downfall will, you know, actually happen for this overall game. But as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. Like I said earlier, if you guys want to catch my live stream, I'll be live again on Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time over on Twitch. You guys find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.
Okay, so we saw that whole vid, which was 10 minutes, right?
What's going on, everybody?
12 minutes and 41 seconds. We watched that whole vid. And I still feel the exact same way when I said it, and when it was like 5 minutes in, I'm like, yo, this misinformation shit gotta stop. And the sad thing is, it's not gonna stop. Anyone can sit up here and say whatever the fuck they want to say about these games, you know, whether it's a hit piece or whether it's, you know, whether it's something that's complete and utter misinformation, and people will take that shit and run with it like the plague. We already see this enough as it is when it goes to any other form of media. So having to see this with a video game source damn near doesn't surprise me. So as far as I'm concerned, just keep playing the game and have fun with the game until you see any other updates that come from said developer. Ain't shit gonna happen with this game when it already started. Now, like I said, my only issue with it is like I said before, is, you know, look who is running this game. It's fucking Ubisoft. Ubisoft is running this game. And I don't trust them because they did this to previous projects that I hold dear, that I actually liked for a little bit, until they sat up there and they said, you know what, I'm not fucking with it anymore. So, until I see otherwise, keep playing the game. I'm gonna keep playing the game because I actually like the game. I haven't played it as of late, but I actually like the game. But for the time being, man, I ain't worried about that shit. Whatever the fuck it is that they say is what they say. So if there's anything else with Xdefiant that you've seen as news, like I will watch the other one because I want to see exactly what a former Call of Duty dev has to do. Winter, how you doing? I do want to see what a former Call of Duty dev is gonna do with this game. So I'm gonna watch this one, and I'm gonna see exactly what the hell's going on with this. How you doing, Winter? How's your day?
I pretty much already finished up everything, man. You know, I made my video for the day. I went ahead and live streamed. And again, thank you to everybody who tuned into the stream. Of course, if you guys are interested, I will be live once again today over on Twitch, of course, at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So if you guys are interested in hopping into the open lobby,
How's your day been, Winter? How's everything going on? I did see on the venting area though that you had something on your mind, but I'm not gonna talk about it in stream. I'll talk about it. I don't mind having to talk to you about it in DMs or having to talk about it in the venting area, but I hope everything's been all good. He posted the year 1 roadmap.
But I had to rush this upload out.
Something happened.
As fast
Yeah,
as
so yeah,
because
like it's like yeah, I figure as much. So yeah, like I said, if you want to talk about it, like
seen
in DMs or something like that, you already know I'm available for that.
Good team, good
I'll happily talk with you about it.
Working together with Phantoms. I've seen it since day one. It's insane the power and work that you can put towards anybody, honestly. And I always said just a slight.
I just hope everything is okay.
Whether it's health or, you know, if they want to take away the passive altogether and give them, like, you know, EOD to survive some grenades easier or survive, you know, flashes, you know, the flash protector, whatever you want to call it, man. Any of that stuff would have been welcome. But, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Rubin went on Twitter and put out a post that I am absolutely in love with. As you can see right here. Hey, all, just wanted to talk about the Sniper Flinch change coming. Flinch will be in between where it was.
Is it what we talked about previously, or is just something new?
It is now. Also, as a bonus, we have a Phantom nerf incoming. 120 HP to 115 HP. Doesn't change much on ARs, but helps SMGs who are impacted the most by more than an additional bullet to kill. Minus 5% move speed. And 4-second to 5-second regen delay. 4-second is base for all factions. Oh my god. These are all coming in a patch after Season 2 goes live. I'll be honest with you guys.
I meant before the VTuber stuff.
When I first saw 120 HP to 115 HP, I thought to myself, I was like, you know, that's good because, again, it will help the SMG players, and that's truthfully who's impacted the most. Every single time you go up against a stack of Phantoms, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, yeah, the barriers could be tedious sometimes, but I mean, just run some EMP grenades, so on and so forth. It's the health, the stacked health, that truly gives them the benefit of the doubt. And it forces you to not really, you know, adapt a playstyle. It forces you into a weapon slot, a weapon category. And I don't really care for, you know, games that really force you into
not that either.
You know,
this
mindset.
Is something new then.
I like when it forces you to maybe, you know, like in Call of Duty, change up your perks or change up your style.
I'm gonna assume that
know,
this is something new.
Things, but to force you out.
By the way, I'm not coloring this. I'm just practicing
about, you know,
to
like,
see how well I can accurately do.
It's not like, you know, Arena
I'm
to
not doing any
Mayday, right? Where on Arena, it's like, okay, I want to run an SMG or a shotgun. Whereas Mayday, I want to run an LMG.
So don't expect coloring out of me.
Right? It's just common knowledge from
the fact that I want to get better at this
if you see a stack of Phantoms, no matter what the map is, you have to run specific weapons. I don't know. I just don't really care for that. And I think it kind of messes with the flow. And for the individuals who don't know how to deal with Phantoms, like I said, switching up guns and they know the correct guns to use against them to actually have a fair time to kill, you know, difference, it ruins it for them. It really does. Any casual who doesn't go through the effort of actually learning that, they're going to think that there's something wrong with the game or something of that sort. Or I wouldn't even blame them thinking that's the netcode. I guarantee so many casuals probably went up against a bunch of Phantoms, you know, don't know that you need a specific weapon, got into gunfights, and thought that their hits weren't just, you know, they just weren't registering, when in reality, it is a decent time to kill difference. But back to what I was saying, because I kind of got a little sidetracked there. When I saw 120 to 115, it didn't really intrigue me too much. I still personally think 110 would be the perfect spot for obviously the health of a Phantom. But again, you know, it's worth testing out and trying, right? But again, like I said, when I first saw it, a little skeptical. But when I read further to, you know, minus 5% to the movement speed, that's when I said, okay, that's
we'll
not
try
shabby.
May again. May's been one I've been
if the Phantom
thinking about trying to do all over again.
Like a tank class, having a little extra HP isn't too much of an issue. The problem here is that we, for the first time ever, honestly, in any game that has hero abilities, we have a game where you can play as a tank with 0 movement penalties. You can play as a guy with 20 additional HP, and you can air strafe just as much, B-hop just as much, crouch spam just as much, and move at the speed as every other operator. You're supposed to be a beefy, bulky character, yet you're moving faster than like the Libertads or the Echelon characters who are smaller, more condensed, and made to look like they're supposed to flank and rush and stuff like that. The logic for this class, at least in my personal opinion, just was
Okay, let me just stop because I think I've heard enough. So basically, what's going on is a patch that's coming out for the game that Mark Rubin himself said, you know what? Let's actually do something about it. So far, not bad. I mean, if that's your start, that's a good start. You know what I mean? It's a good start. So you have it going for you. I'm all for it. You know what I mean? So it's a good first patch. So hopefully he keeps this up. And there's some more good patches coming that he can think of. But for the time being, it's not bad. I mean, I don't see it as anything groundbreaking yet until we actually. I feel like it's like this. I don't see anything groundbreaking yet until we actually see how this is in gameplay. That's how I look at it as. Okay, so that's how I see this whole thing. But so far not bad. But you can tell I'm not really all too thrilled yet because like I need to see all this stuff in action. You know what I mean? It's good to hear from it. It's very good. I don't have a problem with that, but we gotta see it in action. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully with this, they keep it up. But not too bad. Yeah, Winter, I have no problem having to talk about it. Whatever it is that's on your mind. You already know that. So I will be here. Okay? You already know. So if you need me, I'm a DM away. Whatever's on your mind, I'm a DM away. Alright. So with that being said, does anyone else have any topics you have in mind to talk about before I talk about the NFL? If so, now's the time. This might be a short ass episode for what we have here. Very short. Because I gotta tell you, to talk about what happened in week 2, it's probably, and Omega was here with me. A lot of you guys weren't, but I gotta tell you, this was probably one of, if not the most wildest weeks of football I can honestly say I've ever seen. I flamed them all on Twitter yesterday, to be quite honest with you, the exact moment when the loss happened. So I said what had to be said. But I will be flaming a couple teams though, so you're not too wrong. Some teams is gonna catch these hands for what I want to talk about. So give me a minute, let me get these odds right quick, as best I can. Better. Okay, a little bit too wide. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna talk about is, of course, I don't watch guys like that. By the way, if anything, I watch Chisel Adonis, and that'd be it. That's probably the only guy. So Bills Dolphins 31-10. Tua had 145, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions, and he got knocked out of the game with a concussion that he did to himself. And I gotta tell you, I'd be very concerned. Now, he has his right and his decision to do what he wants to do, but I would be very concerned if I'm a fan. Like, if I'm a Dolphins fan, I can't sit here in good conscience and say, yeah, he'll be okay, he'll be alright, when this is his 3rd concussion in, like, what, 2 years? So the worry is well justified. Okay? The concern for Tua Tagovailoa is very justified when your ass has had multiple concussions in a season. I'm sorry, in the span of a couple years. Like it's actually concerning me. So there's a former player I know of by the name of Jordan Reed that had this exact problem that Tua is going through. Where Mans, for some reason, cannot stay fucking healthy to save his life to the point where it's like, yo, this is a very serious concern. And if it's not an injury, if it's not an injury to the head, then it's an injury to the leg. And it's like, yo, you're gonna feel that shit when you get to your 40s. You might already feel it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest issue I have with Tua's, continuing to play. I mean, is it his choice? Of course, he's a grown ass man. He could do whatever he puts his mind to. I'm not gonna sit here and say what he's doing is the worst decision, because you know what? At the end of the day, he still has that drive where he wants to play football and he don't want to stop. I get that. But at some point in time, someone's gonna have to pull him aside and be like, yo, if you continue to get hurt like this, we have to do what we have to do to make sure that you protect yourself. You know what I mean? And I hope that, he has people, which I'm sure he does. He has a support system that will tell him as such. You say if he can't stay healthy, he either needs to retire early or at least get benched. And I think right now with the Dolphins, they gave him 4 weeks. Honestly, I think it needs to be more than. But that's just me. That's just me. So he won't be back until at least around half the season. So maybe then we'll find out and see if Tua's really good or if it's getting bad to a point where it's like, yo, you gotta retire, home. So we have all the time in the world to find out what's gonna go on, what's gonna happen with Tua. And like I said before, I hope for his sake that he's fine. I hope for his sake he'll be good. Because it's like, I can't just get out of my head where it's like, yo, your ass is just one more bad hit away and then your ass is just straight fucked. And I hate having to think like that because I'm not that kind of guy. But I can't help but think like that when, you're at where you're at. And sadly, you know what? It's not that far off to think like that because it's like he's gotten hurt like this 3 times now. It's not a stretch to think it won't happen again. And it's fucked having that mindset, but look. Tua has to show. He has to prove everybody wrong right now. Sorry about that. But yeah, I hate having to be that guy. You know, having to be like that is fucking horrible. But Tua, he's got to show it. Now, with that being said, we can talk about the rest of the games. Fuck up. It's fine. Keep that. You know what? That's even better. But let's talk about the next game. So, Saints Cowboys. Let me see the rest of the scores. Saints Cowboys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm tempted, but you know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? Yeah, give them clap cheeks of the week, bro. Give it to them. It's between them or the Rams, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna choose the Cowboy system. Give them clap cheeks of the week. I don't give a fuck.
Clap them cheeks! Clap them cheeks! Clap them cheeks! Clap them cheeks!
I was debating it between them and the Cardinals and the Rams. Because Cardinals and Rams here, that's 41-10. 14, 10, 10, 7, 0, 3, 7, 0. Let me see this. 3, 13, 3, 0. You know what? 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 I take that back. Actually, no, I'll take that back again. You know what? This is 1A and 1B in terms of clap cheeks, so fuck it. Cowboys deserve it anyway. Cowboys got that ass kicked 44-19. I was not expecting this when I was like coming in to watch a football game. I'd be like, wait a minute. There's no way right now that you're telling me that the Dallas Cowboys of all teams got that ass kicked that bad heading into AT&T Stadium at their home opener. They really got destroyed at home. Holy fuck. Like, I was enjoying this, every bit of this, as a Eagles fan, but guess what? I can't enjoy it for too long considering what my team just did. But still, at the time heading in, I'm like, oh shit, this is really happening right now. The Eagles are really giving them those, I'm sorry, the Saints are really giving them those hands. So it's like, to see this happen to the Cowboys after they just clapped the fucking, like, bruh, like, they literally just sat up there and clapped the fucking Browns. And we saw what the Browns did. Okay? I feel like that was way too wrong. Much. It was also too much. Fuck. Trying to do hair like this is a little crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. But no, I'm gonna keep trying. Fuck. So yeah, Saints 44-19. Alvin Kamara scored 3 touchdowns. I thought he was gonna score 4. I ain't gonna hold you. When he scored 3 rushing touchdowns, I'm like, at some point he's gonna get number 4 before this game is over, but he ain't have enough time. Dak Prescott went 293, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Alvin Kamara 20 carries, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns. Rashid Shaheed 4 receptions, 96 yards and a touchdown. They might have a repeat when they come to Philly, because I gotta tell you, the Eagles right now are not looking any better after what just transpired for them. So they might be on a collision course to repeat that performance. But we'll see what'll happen, because guess what? One thing to take away from the NFL, and this is definitely this week to show this, is any given Sunday, You know what I mean? Any given Sunday. That's the main basis of what I've been seeing throughout this week. With all the crazy shit, with all the craziness that has been going on, it's like, yo, you can get beat at any point. No matter who it is, no matter what you are, no matter how good you are, no matter how bad you are, everyone's gonna eat an L. Unless your name is the Dolphins from like the 70s, 60s. When that happened, that was the only team that went undefeated. Did not give a fuck. I hope I'm doing this right with her hair. I feel like I'm making it too floofy. Because I really don't want to do that. Oh, well, I'll do a little something with it. I'll do a little something later. But yeah, like at the end of the day, man, look, any given fucking Sunday, man, this shit happens like so fucking fast, and it just hits you so hard like a truck. Like the teams you were thinking that were gonna win or lose, they, you know, what happened. Like right now with the Colts and the Packers, I thought the Colts was gonna walk away with a win here because of the Packers losing their starting quarterback Jordan Love throughout the first 4 weeks of the season, and this is not the case. They end up Malik Willis actually did solid enough. He managed enough to win 16-10. You know, you would think a score like this, 16-10, that's good enough to, you would think for the Colts, that defense, they did good enough. You know, they held them to 16 points, but at the same time, their offense complete no-show, which is fucking insanity. 16 points is enough for the offense to sit up there and put up more points to win. Especially after the fact that, look, you went up against the Texans last week, and they was going tit for tat with them. So, to have that happen was pretty fucking crazy, where they lost 16-10 to a backup quarterback. And Richardson got to be careful, bro. He threw multiple interceptions last game. He threw multiple interceptions again. 3 interceptions. Like, I understand he's just coming back off injury, but you got to relax, bro. 204 yards, touchdown. He barely got 200 yards. I'm telling you, he didn't get those 200 yards until like well after the games were over. So yeah, he needs to find his groove somehow, some way. No, I'll just put it like that. I think that's good enough. Okay, I'll just have to take what I can get. It's not gonna be the best form of hair for my character, but oh well. I'm probably gonna get rid of these lines a little later. Let's see. Next game. We got the Vikings beating the 49ers. Did anybody coming in expect the Vikings to handle the 49ers like that? Because I sure as fuck didn't. Brock Purdy went 319, a touchdown, interception. Mason, 20 carries, 100 yards and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 4 receptions, 133 yards and a touchdown. I'm sorry, I have to say this. Justin Jefferson shut me the fuck up. Because I wasn't expecting him to sit up here going into this season after he lost his starting quarterback to a torn ACL and have Sam Darnold look like an above average quarterback. Whatever this is going on in that system, bro, it's working. It is fucking working. So the Vikings, they're not an easy out now. If you thought that way before, they're not an easy out now. So you have to really watch yourself when you're going up against the Vikings now. Because it's already crazy enough you got Justin Jefferson to deal with, who just signed to an extension. So he proves that he's the best wide receiver in the game. But then you got the Vikings actually like having a solid offense with Aaron Jones being there. They have a solid second wide receiver. And, their defense is not too bad either. So definitely be on the lookout for what the Vikings are doing. Seahawks win 23-20. I gotta tell you, the Patriots are another team to be careful with because they snuck up and beat Cincinnati. They almost snuck up and beat Seattle. So the Patriots almost pulling off more of an upset than we already got with week 2. So while the Patriots, they don't have much, they got that defense. That defense is gonna be enough to hold some teams over and scare you. Like Geno Smith went, he passed for 327 and a touchdown, but you wouldn't know it just off of how they did a good job, like trying to stay in the game. So definitely be careful of this team. Commanders fucking suck. Commanders Giants suck, man. I'm sorry, I have to keep it for what it is. Commanders beat the Giants 21-18, and it's like they're 1-1. As well. The reason why they're leading the division is because they beat the Giants. No one right now in the NFC East is truly leading unless it's the Commanders based off of a technicality. Brian Johnson 17 carries, 133 yards. Jaden Daniels 226 yards. He didn't throw a touchdown nor interception, but I guess that's good enough when you don't have to worry about having to win. By the way, they only won by field goals. 3, 6, 6. I'm sorry. Yeah, hold on. Let me make sure here. Yeah, they literally won by field goals. I don't see a touchdown on the board for Washington. So, another instance where a team wins just off field goals. Chargers beat the Panthers 26-3. We already crowned Panthers for clap cheeks of the week last week. We're not going to do it again. We knew this was coming. The only issue I had was Justin Herbert going 132 touchdowns and interceptions. But then again, you know what? He's very lucky that he's exuded from. He's still gonna be on ban list. Don't get me wrong, but he's lucky I ain't gonna get at him too much because my other bets didn't fall through. Other players I was hoping to go through and do what they did, they didn't handle their job. So he's lucky. Browns beat the Jags 18-13, and they almost gave that shit away at the end where I'm like, oh shit, the Browns might actually blow this, but they actually hold on. Now, remember, this is what I said yesterday when it went to the Eagles failing. I said Doug Peterson's on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat. And if he's not careful, somebody's taking his spot. And he's gone. Right then and there, he's gone. I'm going to do this nose all over again. Right then and there, he's gone if he's not careful. In fact, he's looking to be gone. So, don't be shocked in this offseason. Don't be shocked in this offseason when you hear that Doug Peterson is released from his job because it's like, yo, Mans has not been doing a solid job on keeping his team together. And it's gonna stay that way for a while now. It's been that way for a little bit now. Like ever since I can't draw a nose for shit. Damn, I feel like I'm drawing a guy from the Gorillas. Made the Gorilla. You know like the band, like the artist group. The band called the Gorillas. That's what I'm thinking of. Basically, the Jags gotta get better. I understand the loss to the Dolphins, but you losing to the Browns like this after they got their cheeks clapped versus the Cowboys, ooh, buddy, I don't know. Raiders beat the Ravens. Upset. Nobody had the Raiders beating the Ravens. So the fact that happened is a little concerning if you're an MVP candidate such as you're a former MVP winner such as Lamar Jackson. They've gone 0-2 for the first time in since 2003, 2004, shit like that. Somewhere along those lines. I need to see if there's a stat with that. So the Ravens, they're a bit of a concern. Cardinals, you know what? Like I said before, Cardinals, Rams, yeah, give them clap cheeks, bro. Rams got those cheeks demolished. They only scored 3 points in the second quarter. And they scored a touchdown, which is 7 points. Touchdown and field goal, 7 points in the third. So, give them clap cheeks. Marvin Harrison Jr., 4 receptions, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ain't had to do too much after that. And he didn't have to, because he didn't have to do too much after that. There was no reason for him to. So for him to, for that to go down the way that it did, man, I'd be very concerned if I'm a Rams fan, because now you're 0-2. You lost to the Lions and you lost to the Cardinals, but we'll see what'll happen with the Cardinals later on in the season, because they look like they might have gotten their shit together. So we'll see and find out. All right, Steelers, Broncos. Nobody gives a fuck. This is the one game nobody really cared about, and they won 13-6 somehow. Jesus Christ, dude. Steelers are terrible, and they somehow still winning. Chiefs, Bengals. I was telling you, the Chiefs are the luckiest team on planet Earth. I've never seen a team get away with so many wins. It's unreal. The Chiefs win by they literally win by a pass interference. They won by a pass interference. Joe Burrow actually did his job. 258, 2 touchdowns. He did his job. It's a shame that it took a pass interference call to, happen. For them to go 0-2 when it's like, look, it shouldn't have happened like that. Yeah, literally, you know what? That's an alert I need to have. I need to have an alert called they can't keep getting away with this. So when you got Tom, please put that in there. Please put that in there. Because it's like, that's exactly what the Kansas City Chiefs are, man. They can't keep getting away with this shit. And somehow, some way, they continue to get away with this shit. When they shouldn't. Go ahead and take that. There's no, like, I'm thinking, like, bro, there's no way that they get away scot-free, and somehow, some way, by the grace of God, they end up doing just that. Which is fucking crazy. Give me a minute. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm trying to draw a maze eyeliner real quick. Yeah, that's to be the only thing that will probably be colored. They do not need another winning season, let alone a Super Bowl ring. And I have a feeling at some point it's gonna catch up to them. It's gonna catch up to them. They're not gonna have another Super Bowl winning season. You know what I'm saying? At some point in time, they gotta lose. Everybody gotta lose. And they've lost before. Which was the Tom Brady of all people, but they've lost before. So it's gonna happen. Just don't know who they're gonna really lose it to right now. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, man, as far as I'm concerned right now, they're the luckiest team on planet Earth. And they have no business being this lucky. Sorry about that. I'm kind of messing this eyeliner thing up, but hey, it's the best I can do. Okay. If you like how I did it, so could it be a little better? Of course. But we got what we can get. But as far as I'm concerned, eventually they're gonna meet their match. Texans beat the Bears 19-13. We knew what was gonna happen there. I didn't think the Bears were gonna be a little bit. I didn't think that was gonna be as defensive as it was, but still, the Texans handled their business. So good on them for doing what they had to do. And last but not least, you already know, Falcons beat the Eagles 22-11. Look at this shit. They didn't even put up double digits in either quarter. Either quarter, they didn't put up double digits, but they still have enough to win the fucking game. Now, I gotta say this. I'll go ahead and repeat what I said on Twitter when it goes to this, okay? I'll repeat what I said when it goes. If this keeps up with the Eagles, I understand they're 1-1, but here's the deal. This is a constant fucking pattern that I've seen with these games when it goes to the Eagles. We haven't had a dominant win since 2022. And the Eagles, they're look, you can't sit here top to bottom and tell me they're not a more talented team than the fucking Falcons. They absolutely are. Kyle Pitts didn't do shit. Drake London didn't do anything until the end of the game. Like, they did so good in this game until that happened. And the thing is, it's just the simple bullshit that stopped them from winning this game. All they had to do was, and we have it as an emote here. We have it as an emote here. All they had to do was just run the ball. That's it. That's it. I don't know if Winter's still here, but I'm sure she's loving the fact that I'm putting that emote to work. And for good reason, because it feels like I'm repeating my exact words from last year when I shouldn't have to. All y'all had to do was run the ball at the end of the game. And the game is settled. The game is over. Like, granted, and I'm going to say this, I'll keep it like this. If Saquon Barkley catches that pass, I'm not talking about this. But at the same time, I'll still say y'all need to run the ball. Because Saquon Barkley was carving up that Atlanta defense, and y'all fucked around and didn't do anything to keep that going. Instead, y'all want to get pass happy in the red zone. I don't understand why. If they stop you, they stop you. So fucking what? It is what it is. But they need to get out of this little stigma in their head that, oh, because they stopped you once or twice, that, that's it. End story. No. Y'all need to break that shit. Gotta be said. There's no fucking way that this should have happened. This game was won. We should be 2-0 right now. If all y'all had to do was run the ball, drain clock, hell, even at the end of the game, it showed all you had to do was run the ball. And what was it? 3rd and 2 when this happened? 3rd and 3? You know what the Eagles love to do? They love the tush push, right? And the tush push was a guarantee, usually what? A guaranteed 2 yards? They could have went that route and I would have been okay with it. All they had to do was tush push that shit. And say if they didn't even get a yard. Say, no. Say if they only got 1 yard. Because usually that's what it would result in anytime they do it. Is they would get 1 yard. Fine, do it again. Do it again. I don't fucking understand this shit. You signed Saquon Barkley to a... Let me look up his contract. You signed Saquon Barkley to a 3-year, $37.75 million deal that could be upworth of $46 million in 26 guaranteed. You signed him for that. Let that man prove to you why he earned that money. By punching that shit in. He got the power. Shown as when he sat up there and when he made that catch, he trucked right over someone. And even if it's not that, you got Jalen Hurts for a tush push. Why make the easiest situations so fucking hard? I don't understand. I don't understand. Maybe y'all can tell me. Why is it that my team makes life so much harder for themselves when it shouldn't be? It's so easy. 3rd and short, I'm running that bitch. Like, I can play Madden right now. And more often than not, if I'm in a 3rd and 3 situation, I'm gonna fucking run it. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know enough football to understand. But I know this for a fact. When it goes to my football team, I know enough to see that, yo, what y'all doing here is some bullshit. And y'all know it. Y'all know this is some bullshit y'all pulling. And the crazy thing is, though, y'all wanna know the crazy thing about that is? That's with our new offensive coordinator. So either way, no matter who you want me to blame, it's still gonna be on y'all. No matter how you slice it. And it all still goes back to the head coach. Because at the end of the day, this is still your team. Okay? This is still your team. And you have to understand, like, yo, you made the green light to make that call. You did that. Nobody else. That's where I understand people's issues with Nick Sirianni is at right now. Because it's like, yo, you doing that shit, you green lighting these moves to pass the ball is hurting you. And I know they see it. But it's almost like y'all didn't learn anything from last year to see that this is happening. But my thing is, and it's real simple and real easy to see, is by the time y'all realize what's going on with this, it's gonna be far too late. And that's exactly what's about to happen here. Anyway, I said what had to be said with the Eagles. I gave my thoughts. Now, if any of y'all have any other comments y'all want to point out with them, go right ahead. Hell, feel free to con them. I don't give a fuck. Because it's what they deserve. It's what they deserve. You don't put up a performance like that and think for a second that you're not going to get clowned on for it. When it's absolutely what you deserve. We should have won that game. No ifs, ands, or buts. But yeah, I guess no one else has any more comments to point out. I guess for me, you know, that's it. That's it. I got no more to point out. I got no more to say. Let me just finish this up real quick. And I think for me, now I understand I could draw her ear, but really I just want to focus on the head real quick. Particularly the head and the hair, because for me that's always the ones I'm struggling the most at. But yeah, for me that's it. Hey, I did a good job on May. At least I think I did. Well, my best form of trying to do it. Oh well. I feel like if I could just copy this portion, the right side here, and put it over here, I'll be fine. But it is what it is. Till then, I'm done for now. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna save this. I'll do more next time. Alright, till then, I'll see y'all when I see y'all. I hope y'all like this little setup I decided to do here. I'd be like, you know what, fuck it, I want to do art and cover some sports and shit. Do lightning round at the same time. And that's episode 65. So I'll see y'all back here for episode 66. Y'all know the schedule. So Wednesday, Pirate Warriors, Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter will be first because I haven't played it in a week. I might do Pirate Warriors, I don't know, but I'm gonna definitely see if I can focus more on the art side of things. So we'll see what'll happen with that. But all I know is this Monster Hunter is definitely first. Thursday, I'm gonna be going back to anime night, anime movie night. No movie this time. I'm gonna be going back to anime. I might, you know what, I feel like watching more of Samurai Jack. So if y'all down for that, I definitely am trying to do that. Also Yakuza for Friday, and that's it. That's everything throughout the week. Alright guys, till then, I'm done for the now. See you when I see you. And that's it. I'm done. Bye.